Welcome to the Eco Build-A-Home Challenge Video 2. Did you know that over 85% of products sold in the US are packaged using cardboard? Now it's time to grab our first lid. Now what we're going to do with it is we're just going to pop the sides open like this and just make sure that they're all open like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to overlap it on here, which will create a nice wall for our green space in here. I made sure that this corner here was right on the bend of this part of the building so that it would square up really easily and be easy to glue also. Now we're going to trace the inside of this part, but it's just for an idea of how to measure it. I'm not going to cut this at all. I'm just gonna get a rough. Alright, and this is my line right here. So this is my line right now, and I want to figure out how to cut it, so this is how I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna make a measurement right about here. And that is where I'm going to cut across. And then I'm just going to make 2 more measurements along the sides. And you want to make sure you have a lot of space for your original triangle right here, because you want to have enough space so you can still glue it on. And you don't want to cut off these edges yet, because these are what's going to shore up against this, and those are going to be our main attachment points. So we can probably just ignore this right here, and we'll just cut along this line right here. Don't throw away your scrap cardboard from what we just did. We'll use this cardboard to make furniture later. Time to grab the glue again. How we're going to glue this is we're going to put glue only on the outside of what we just sketched out, like this. And we want to make sure that we have a little bit of space. And I made this line right here where it meets up with the roof, so we can glue it up against the roof also as an extra support. And we're going to want to glue over here. And then we're ready to put it on our building. The easiest way to glue this on is if we lay it on its back immediately after we put it on, so that it's lined up like this. And then we're going to take a clothespin or 2. Now for this, we're going to want to clothespin right here. And since you can't really clothespin over here, then you're going to want to put a book over here, as long as there isn't any glue, because you don't want to glue your book to your house. That would kind of stink. Okay, so I may have forgotten to cut off this little piece before I glued, but that's okay, because I can just cut it off while it's already dry. See? It wasn't even there. Now is a good time to pause the video and add these features to your structure. While you're adding them, you can listen to this fun fact. Did you know that recycling cardboard saves 24% of the total energy needed to make new cardboard? So it actually saves energy to make cardboard out of recycled materials rather than make cardboard out of new materials. So for the next part, we're going to need another lid. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to line this up against the back part of this wall and then hold it in place while I measure it. Like so. Right now I'm just going to continue this line to go onto the sides here, so I know where to cut when I'm going all the way around the exterior of the box. And then I'm just going to cut it. Now that we have our box done, we can dry fit it in here for now. And if it doesn't fit, you can modify it. If your box is slightly too big, all you need to do is open up one side like this. Find a new place to make the crease, like right here I made it because it's slightly lower than before. You need to cut this edge a little bit so that it can actually fold over. And then you can just glue it back together and it's like it was short in the first place. And all you would need to do after that is just trim off this edge right here because it's slightly taller. Now I'm drawing my line. Oops. Time for gluing again. So what we're going to do is we're just going to glue on this side of this part right here. We're going to glue on the back. And we're going to glue on the bottom here. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to slide it in here and make sure that it's lined up with this front part here and smush it against this top floor. Whoops. Now the best way to let this dry is to lay it on its side like this and put a heavy book right here so that all this big space right here is evenly gluing against the back here. Now you're probably wondering why this hole is still here, but it's fine, you can just leave it there because we're going to do something with it later. Now is a good time to pause the video and make these edits to your structure. Time for cardboard fun fact number 3. Did you know that for every ton of cardboard we recycle, we save 9 cubic yards of landfill space? Now we're going to take our other half of the box and just open it up. And the reason why we're doing this is because we're going to use it to thicken and lengthen this movable wall. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut off these two side flaps on these fold lines so that it will fit and reinforce this wall. So the whole part of this piece of cardboard is to lengthen and strengthen the movable wall. And how you decide to do this is up to you. But how I'm going to do it is I'm going to have this solid side over here and then have the side that ends with the shorter part line up with this right here so that it creates a flat wall and a clear wall on this side. And it also covers up all the labels of the copy paper boxes. Now it's time for more glue. We're going to glue the inside, going to glue the inside of this piece of cardboard so that when you put it down then it stays flat like this. And we're going to glue this right here too so we can stick it to this movable. Then we can just stick it like this, slide it on so that these two pieces line up. So the way I'm going to let this dry is we're going to make sure that no extra glue is right here because otherwise it'll stick to our house and that will not be good. And we're just going to tip this on its back and fold it down like this and apply pressure on it by putting a heavy book or something on it. We're done with the cardboard structure of our house. How epic does it look so far? Tune in to the next video where we'll learn how to make a rainwater collection system and a skylight shower.